Welcome to the 291st episode of the Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today, we are recording on July 3rd, 2022. Boy, this year is going by quickly. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and 50% of this here show with me is the man who's starting early, Carlos Rodella.
We are starting early, and it's a weekend podcast, 11 a.m.
It's going to sound pretty bougie to a lot of people, but I think this is the earliest we've ever started.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're usually like a later afternoon, evening kind of thing.
Kind of physically painful to be doing anything at this point in the day for me right now.
Well, to be fair, I'm up like super early most days, but I'm not ready to podcast. You know, this is like a thing. You got to get your energy and your soul up and everything.
Yeah, and I'm a super hardcore night owl. I mean, this is just bizarre.
Oh, that's right.
That I need to be focused on anything other than sucking down some coffee right now. So we're going to do our best. I will do my best. I know you're going to do your best. We're going to get this show together, and we've got quite a show for everyone today. Loaded agenda, loaded like a baked potato, and boy, there's tasty. Carlos, let's get into some housekeeping. As everyone knows, you and I share a virtual living space divided down the middle with a strip of silver duct tape. On my side, surprisingly, it's pretty crap over here. There's a lot of junk. Not my norm. What about on your side, sir?
Yeah, it's a messy house. I think on both sides. I walked in, I saw it.
It's been a week. It's been a week.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you go first? Lead us off, sir.
Like I said, it's gross.
It's nasty.
It's pretty nasty. Well, the thing is, the things inside them aren't nasty. There's a lot of fun stuff, too. First off, before we even get started with housekeeping, close the door, go back outside. Thanks to John for hosting Gaming in the Wild.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I got to listen to the podcast finally.
It's weird to listen to your own podcast when you're not on it, isn't it?
Yeah. I listened a little bit to edit and then let it go and then, export it and ship it.
Yeah.
But this one I was like, I'm just going to put this on my headphones when I walk to the store and listen like a regular person.
So strange. So strange. So did you enjoy the show?
I really did. I loved your back and forth. Again, thanks for co-hosting. I was not out sick with some sort of venereal disease.
No judgment, dude. No judgment, bro.
There doesn't have to be judging because that didn't happen. Anyways, I really enjoyed it and loved hearing about all the games and his takes and your takes on stuff. And really quick to start the housekeeping, jump back in the house. You did mention on that show Sorcery, the Steve Jackson game.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that came up. Absolutely.
And I wasn't on the show, so I didn't get to talk about it, but I also played it. And I just wanted to say really quickly, it was interesting to me because for my take is I like that concept because I love Choose Your Own Adventure. I grew up with those books.
Yeah, same.
But I didn't really enjoy it in the gaming portion.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
So let's back it up a little bit. Why don't you give a quick recap for people in case they missed last week? Tell us what Steve Jackson Sorcery is, and then tell us why it didn't click.
Yeah, so basically it's kind of reproducing the idea of these books that most of our listeners probably didn't play, I'm guessing. But they were Choose Your Own Adventure books, books that had like even combat in the pages. So sometimes you'd even have a dice or, a stat sheet, and you could actually do like RPG stuff from a book.
Sure.
So that's what it's based on. And in this one, it's essentially like doing pages and doing story bits and making choices. But then it's showing like kind of a visual map, and you have like a little, what do they call it? Not avatar, but miniature.
Yeah, a little marker on the map or something.
Marker on a map, and you pick where you're going. And you're kind of playing it out that way. And I just, for some reason, I almost just found myself wanting to do the books again. Because, and again, it's very specific to me, but I like holding a book, and I like flipping through the pages and kind of just doing it in that sensation. But the game part felt like it didn't have, it was trying to do what the book did, and it just wasn't hitting for me for some reason.
Really? That's interesting because I thought it was great. I loved it.
I know.
I put it on pause because I really wanted to focus like all my energy on it, and I couldn't like work it in amongst my other review responsibilities right now. So I really like it a lot. I'm going to revisit it before the end of the year, but I thought it was pretty great, and I especially loved like the rewind feature like we mentioned on last episode, where it's almost like keeping your finger on the last page where you can just go back and back and back. Which is a nice bit of cheating, which I really enjoyed. I mean, it's interesting. So did you, I guess, did you like the writing? Did the combat not land for you? Or you just craved the tactile experience of having a book?
Yeah, it really was just that. And that's why it's very specific to me, but like, and also having grown up with it. But I it's almost like it didn't have enough visual representation to keep me interested.
Hmm.
Like, or like if they wanted to do it in a new modern setting, it's almost like I wouldn't mind a mini fighting game or something. But it was just doing, again, not to a fault at all, like the book. It was just doing like choices and some limited combat stuff. I don't know. For some reason, it just didn't hook me. And seeing that little miniature on the map, and I don't know.
Man, that's interesting. I thought for sure you were going to dig that one.
I
thought that was
know.
right up your alley. I'm very surprised.
I'm surprised at myself and a little disappointed.
A little disappointed.
But it did be, I wanted to bring it up really quickly because I had an alternate opinion, which is weird. By the way, I was playing the Brad role. You know?
Sure.
I was like, you know what? It's not for me, pass.
That's usually what I say. That's 90% of what I say.
And in that voice, too.
I thought it was me talking for a minute there.
I know. I had to do that. Stop doing that sometimes. But I will say I brought it up also because it made me think of a tangent, which was I do love Steve Jackson and his games. And I mentioned on the show before Car Wars, which is a great game. He produced.
Sure.
Also, he produced GURPS. Did you ever play GURPS?
I knew all about it. Everybody around me growing up was playing GURPS, but I never played it. But I was very familiar with it.
Well, this is the only reason I'm bringing it up is a tangent to a tangent. So I loved GURPS because what it was D&D, but across every genre.
Yeah,
so
big
you
mix.
Mix. You could do sci-fi with fantasy, with Old West, whatever. And I love that. So because of that, I found this book from these old company called Avalon Hill. I think they're still around, actually.
I think they're still around, I believe.
But they made a lot more like pen and paper RPGs, I think, back in the day. And I had one called Lords of Creation. And I just wanted to bring it up because I've never brought it up on the podcast, and this is my only tangent into it, is by talking about sorcery to get me to Lords of Creation. But anyways, it was a GURPS type game, and it had limited rules, and you kind of made up your own rules at some point. But it was that kind of cross genre, you know, and I loved playing it. So if anybody listening as old as me remembers Lords of Creation, hit me up.
And just as a side note, we don't have to tangent into anything. This show is so random and we're so open and flexible. You could just be like, Brad, today I'm going to talk about a game you've never heard of, Lords of Creation. And we're like, okay, we're rolling. I mean, that's all it is.
Well, I know, but I found a way in, didn't I?
I mean, you did. But just in case you want to do that again, you can. It could be its own segment.
Well, I did find a tangential way in, and to also tell you at the same time, I'm sorry, but I didn't like it as much as you, which is so weird.
I'm very surprised. Because I thought it was fantastic. I can't wait to get back to it. But.
And to clarify, it's good at what it does. So not saying that at all. And I think more people will, get that experience that I had when I was a kid. But it 100% made me want to go to Amazon and just buy a bunch of books.
Interesting. I wonder if people who have never had experience with the physical books would click with the same concepts that this game is presenting. Because basically it's the same idea. One's a game, one's a book. But if they don't have the nostalgia for literally turning pages, I wonder if it would hit with them better. I mean, maybe that's the difference. I don't know. All right.
Well, that's some of mine. Pushing that to the side. Some stuff on your side?
Sure. Let me pivot into a couple things here. Let's see. Let's talk about some movies I watched recently. Couple nights ago, we rented Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring Michelle Yeoh and Ke Huy Quan. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I say finally because I've seen it a while ago, and I've been wanting you to see it.
Yeah, we just watched it. I don't remember what your take is. I assume you probably liked it, right?
I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I was like, I went into it expecting a good movie, and I got a great movie, which is a wonderful experience. I love when your expectations, even though you don't want to go into something expecting too much, but I was like, oh man, I love these actors, and this seems like a cool concept, and everybody is talking about it. It was hard not to get hype, right? And then once I start watching it, I'm like, oh man, this is even better than the hype. So it's rare that happens, but that movie absolutely delivered for me. I mean, I thought the action was fantastic, but even more so than the action, it had a sense of humor. And I feel like almost all of the humor landed for me. I feel like it had a heart because there was definitely some really touching moments. I think I even teared up a couple times, like, being a parent myself and just connecting with some of the stuff that was going on screen. It had like a lot of like really huge, like galaxy class ideas, and they were just fucking swinging for the fences. And some of that shit that was in that movie was just like, I was just beside myself. I could not believe they were doing some of that stuff. I'm not going to spoil any of it, but man, some of those late movie fights were just My whole family was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
And this is kind of awesome.
Well,
So,
it's almost like they pushed the envelope in like the filmmaking part too, right?
oh
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like these transitions or these transformations, and you're like, wait, how did that? What's going on?
Yeah, it was just really smart and it was really well done. It was attempting like 19 different things at once, and I feel like it was successful on basically every level. Which to me was just like fantastic, fantastic. I saw a review, not to turn this yum into yuck or anything, but I saw Joyce Carol Oates, who's a real famous writer in America, very very well respected person. She tore this movie up and she hated it, and I just read her review of it, and I'm like, wow, what kind of sick, sour, empty inside person are you? You may write books and you may be real successful, but if you couldn't find any joy in this movie, there is something wrong with you. That's
Yeah,
my official opinion. So
yeah, something's dead inside. That's crazy
that movie was fan fucking
because
tastic. I loved it.
it's also joy, right? Like
It
especially
is.
that ending too, and without spoiling
Oh
anything.
yeah, dude.
There's
Yeah,
just this kind of like progression of understanding about the human being and also like connections with family and yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like a really heartfelt
yeah.
movie underneath it all.
Absolutely, it was heartfelt. It was like about family, about being a parent. It was about loving people. It was about connecting with people. It was about fights. It was about funny. I mean, like that movie had like literally like everything in it, and it all worked. Like it all came together. So my hats off to that movie. That movie's fucking dope, dude.
Before you
Yeah.
continue, I wrote it down. Yum into Yuck. That's a good podcast name.
Oh, okay.
You just like offhandedly said it, and I was like, I've never heard that term before, but it kind of works with like when we talk about games.
Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely does. Okay, the other movie I want to mention real quick before I turn it back to you is The Princess, which just came out on Hulu a couple days ago. Do you have Hulu, Carlos, or you don't?
I'd never remember. I might have like the base version or something.
Oh, dude, like
I
talk
use
about
it,
it.
but I don't know how much I use
I
it.
can never remember what we're fucking subscribing to, dude. It's
I
crazy.
know.
But so The Princess just came out a couple days ago. I apparently this is an independent movie that was made for Hulu, as far as I can tell.
Hmm.
It is. So have you seen The Raid?
Yeah. We talked about it
Okay,
on the show, I think.
Okay, The Raid, real famous, like seminal action movie, really, really well respected. Imagine The Raid, but instead of like one, cops in a drug den, it's like a princess in a castle.
Whoa.
Otherwise, basically the same thing. This princess, I'm not going to get into the whole story, but like basically a princess is in a bad situation. She needs to get out of it. She's at the top of a tower. There's like 1,000 medieval soldiers in this tower, and she's got to like fight her way down to get out. Also, her family's kidnapped. She's got to rescue the family. And she just like, this movie's fucking brutal, dude. Like she kills like tons of people, no remorse whatsoever. It's not one of those movies where like it's the fainting princess and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I stabbed that guy." Oh. She's like, "No, I'm fucking all you guys up and I'm killing you all and I don't care and I got blood on my face and I'm eating it and I'm just going to keep on going."
Whoa. I would have
And
had no idea based on like the random tweet I saw of yours that's
oh
what
my
kind of
god.
movie it was.
It is hardcore. It is like wall to wall fights. It is so many dudes getting stabbed. It is so much bloodshed, but it was exactly what I wanted, man. It was exactly what I wanted. It's kind of just like a random tangent here, but my wife and I have been watching a lot of horror movies lately. We always watch horror when we get depressed because I feel like it like stimulates our brain chemistry back into like the proper orientation, right? So we're watching a lot of horror movies lately, and we've seen a bunch in a row that were really awful, and not awful in the sense of like too scary, too gross, but like movies where the director clearly had a very broken relationship with women, and it comes out in his movie because of what's happening to the women on screen, right? Where it's like extended torture sequences or women just being like repeatedly abused or just denigrated on screen that doesn't really support the story and doesn't really support the film. It just feels like the director getting back at his ex or like being
Yeah.
mad because he's an incel or some shit like that. We don't seek those movies out, but it just was a bad streak of luck where we watched a couple in a row where we're like, oh god, like this lady's going through hell and there's no reason for it, and clearly this director is a fucker. So we were like, okay, we got to watch something that's like more girl power because I can't take it anymore. My heart can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
So we watched The Princess, and it is like mega girl power, mega girl positive. She's like, I'm not marrying anybody I don't want to marry, and I will stab all you fuckers who tell me I have to. And she stabs them all and cuts off their fucking heads, and there's blood and everything. It's just like, it's awesome. I loved it. It was great. I mean, just pure action. If you want just pure action, seeing this medieval princess just like slicing dudes up like wall to wall, like a fantastic time. I loved it.
Wow. I'm gonna check it out.
Really fun movie. Really fun movie. All right. I got a bunch more stuff, but let's kick it back to you for a second. What do you got?
I know this might be the housekeeping show.
The housekeeping episode.
Well, I just want to mention this because, again, real life stuff. I recently was on a work trip and I went down to San Francisco. That's where I was. I wasn't sick. with any sort of
special
disease.
clinic down there. Yeah.
Anyways, so when I went down there, at some point, I was in a hotel room. I had my Switch. I had a game that I'm playing on it, which I'll talk about on this show in a minute. But I also had my phone, and so I wanted to try out that crossover play with Diablo Immortal. Because,
oh, yeah. Okay.
as you know, I am one of the only people in any of the podcast world that likes Diablo Immortal.
You are that guy. That is you. You were the guy.
I've been getting reached out to, by the way, in comments and stuff. People are like, I might be on like other shows to talk about it because I am the guy who likes it.
Yeah, you were like literally the only high profile person who's not gone on a rant against it.
I know, it's weird. I literally might be on another show to talk about it at some point. But so I bring out the phone and I'm like excited to kind of just like lie in bed in my hotel room and play for a little bit. And again, just grind. Like I just enjoy grinding in that game. Like it's a fun game. So I get it loaded up and I log in and it says make a new character. And I go, you son of a bitch. But then I looked on the internet and it was like, no. You just have to pick the same server you were on. But the servers' names are like Hamlet's Will and the Fight Pits and stuff like that, right? So I have no idea what one I picked. So, and it's not like there's just one or five. There's like tons of them, you know?
Right, I'm sure there's 1,000.
So
Sure.
I swear to you, I scrolled through all of them and I couldn't find it. And then
couldn't you find your server?
I couldn't find my server.
Like if you look, I mean, there must be like your account information. Like it must tell you which server you're on, right?
It doesn't, but it kind of does. So it doesn't like right away, but I felt like an idiot because as I was scrolling down through many of them, I finally saw a little number next to one of them. It said 1, which means you have one character on it.
Okay.
So I finally found it.
Oh,
but it took a while. It took a while because it doesn't normally just like put it at the top. It's like wherever it is in the list of servers. Anyways, that's not fun talk, but that's what happened. So if you're for some reason on your phone, scroll down until you see the numbers. That's where your characters are.
There you go.
When I finally did, I just like I had fun, but I did not like the experience compared to when I'm playing at home. Again, I'm in the minority here because I play it on my PC with my controller. Other people say the controller doesn't work. They're wrong because you have to change. Remember we talked about this last time?
Yeah, there was some
the dead
setting or
zone.
something. I remember you talking about it.
People aren't adjusting that, so they're seeing like delay. If you adjust that, it works fine. So I was used to my controller, and I know where the button presses are. And you know how you get in the, what is it called? The muscle memory? Yeah. So I was like, oh, and on the phone, you have to like look down sometimes at the buttons you're hitting. Because it's not intuitive. Like you have an idea where your thumb's going to be.
Right.
But it's like, no, I picked the wrong special. And now, so it wasn't as intuitive and fun to me. But I did get to grind. Like it's not like I was able to play.
Right. It worked. It
worked. And it also, contrary to popular belief, it didn't look better on my phone. Like people going like, oh, it's only 720p on the computer. Wrong again. You can change the resolution. I don't know what people are talking about. It looks fucking great on my computer, and I couldn't see much of it on my phone. And I have a big phone. So, anyways, yeah, that's my point in saying I did not enjoy the experience as much. And it's supposed to be a phone game, but I really enjoyed it on my PC. So, there it is. I did do some grinding and, got home and had done all the grinding. So, I like that.
Got all the grinding done.
I did
all the grinding.
But I also just bring it up because I wanted to say again, people, what's wrong with you? Also, last thing about Diablo Immortal is that, I think I told you last episode that people are spending tons of money and for their YouTube channel, then they're getting mad at it after they spent like $10,000.
Yeah.
There's an app now, our website, where you can just mimic like spending money.
You can mimic spending money? How does that work?
In the game. So basically like it's, like a little random generator. So you hit like $10,000 or $5,000 and it'll show you what you get.
What you would have gotten if you had, or, a potential what you would have gotten if you had spent that much money.
Right. It's a simulator,
Gotcha.
So those YouTubers can just use that. Okay, bro? And don't spend your money.
Don't spend your money. All right.
Anyways, there's my little Diablo Immortal thing. And it might pop up every show, I swear. I enjoy it.
All right. What else do I have? Oh, just a quick shout out to I do have some games to talk about, but I forgot to mention this earlier. A quick shout out to She-Ra on Netflix. People who listen to the show know that I'm a huge He-Man fan and She-Ra fan from back in the day, and still am lifelong. My son and I recently watched the entire every episode of the original 80s He-Man and every episode of the original 80s She-Ra.
Jeez.
We watched every single one. Loved it. Loved it. A great journey we completed. But we wanted some more, and we had started the Netflix updated She-Ra. I think it's from, I want to say from 5 years ago, maybe something like that. Not too long ago. And it was redone. I believe it was Nicole Stevenson, I think her name is, if I'm not mistaken. We got a couple episodes in and we stopped watching it for whatever reason, but we really liked it. We finally came back to it, and we're about halfway through the entire, I think there's 5 seasons. We're like in season 3 right now. And I gotta say, like, I'm very disappointed that there isn't more merch for this, because I love this show. The show is fucking awesome. And I want to buy like a million action figures, and there just aren't any. It's, for people who don't know, this reboot of She-Ra, it takes a lot of the basic same characters, but like redesigns all the characters. It's a very queer friendly, queer positive show. She-Ra ends up becoming, recognizing herself as a lesbian at some point. A lot of the characters in the show are either like kind of like gender neutral, or some of them are obviously gay or lesbian in the show. So it's a very like rainbow friendly show, which I love about it. I think it's totally fun. I love every bit of that. I think it's all great. Seeing more representation is wonderful. But clearly, I mean, I guess it must be Mattel, the toy makers, kind of like shied away from that. I mean, maybe they didn't know what they were getting into, or maybe they didn't understand what Noelle Stevenson was going to do with it, because there's like I mean, I'm looking at my shelf here. I'm a big He-Man collector. Like, from He-Man back in the day, there's like hundreds of characters, right? There's hundreds of action figures you can buy. Literally hundreds. For the She-Ra show, there's 2 action figures total. And I think there's like 5 Barbie-style dolls. And that's it. Like, nothing else. You can buy 800 versions of OG He-Man, and I've got many of those. But I'm just very disappointed that they pulled back. They got scared. They didn't want to invest in it. This show won all kinds of awards for representation and inclusion. I mean, I think it's great. It's really funny. It's really smart. The whole family is like really enjoying it. I think it's a great reboot. And I'm just really disappointed that there isn't more stuff for me to spend my money on, because I want to support this show as much as I can, whether that's action figures, posters, or shirts, or whatever. And there's just like nothing out there, which is really strange, because Mattel's a fucking toy company, and this show was created, you would think, to like promote their toys. And they're like, nah, not going to do that. So they clearly got the queer fear, backed off of it, and just are not supporting it. So I'm hoping that with the renaissance of He-Man that's going on right now, and in case you didn't know, there's a giant He-Man renaissance.
Oh, I know.
Right,
it's every episode we talk about.
every episode
He-Man.
I talk about it. I got to find a way to talk about it. I'm hoping that they will see the light, and that in some of the new toy lines, they will integrate some of these She-Ra characters, because it's so good. They're so good. It drives me fucking crazy that I'm watching the show and I'm like, I love all these people and I want to have them on my shelf, and there's just nothing to buy.
Well,
like, it's really disappointing.
That'd be really terrible if the reason is what you said. I don't know if we know that's the reason, that they
I
don't
can't
want
think of
to
any other
represent lesbian and gay toy characters. Would be insane, because if anything, we need more of that. That'd be the opposite of what we should be doing.
I mean, I can't think of any other reason why they wouldn't have supported it, because there's also the new He-Man. There's actually 2 He-Man reboots on Netflix in the last year. And both of those already have like 5 times more figures than She-Ra ever got. And She-Ra was on for like 5 seasons.
Yeah.
So it seems like I don't know what other reason it could be, but that is the reason.
Let me just play devil's advocate and say one other reason is that well, I don't know how much. It's funny. I was just thinking about like commercials in general. People don't watch commercials because they don't need to. But also like how many commercials are being made that like geared towards women,
Yeah.
Because when we were growing up, we had a million commercials for, young boy to get crazy, strong hero dude. Like that's all the commercials were.
Totally.
So I'm just wondering if that's part of it, like the marketing side of toys for women, which by the way would be sucky if it's not good enough.
I don't know, man. It just seems like they really fucking missed the boat on this, because the stuff that's available, the action figures that I got are really, really hard to find. They're super rare. So those don't even count. Like only collectors know about those. The only stuff that was available in stores were basically like Barbie style dolls, and like there's barely any of them. So I think that not Hasbro, but Mattel misunderstood and like tried to market these toys to young girls when actually they should have been marketing them towards the queer audience. I see tons of my queer friends who love She-Ra because they see themselves reflected in it, and it supports the same values like chosen family and acceptance and being who you are. Like, dude, like you completely missed the boat. You could have sold 1 billion toys to the queer community and you chose to do nothing. Like, why did you? Oh, it's like it's
Right.
so frustrating.
And then
So
also
frustrating.
just you don't have to market. I'm so over the idea of marketing things to a particular person or style of person, Like, yes, I
Yeah,
agree with you that like they could have harnessed that, but at the same time, make an action figure. Just make more action figures,
yeah. They
Like
need to. They need
there's
to.
no reason not to. Well, I was gonna say something else to that point, but I forgot. Are you have more stuff?
I have a couple more things, but let's kick it back to you for a second here.
Just a couple more little things. One, Nintendo Direct happened.
Oh yeah, dude, that would kind of caught me by surprise.
Yeah, for third party. We all knew it was coming, I think, because we just
I
delayed.
didn't know it was coming. Nobody told me.
Yeah,
I missed that
nobody
email.
told me. Well, people were just speculating it was going to happen, and so when it did, yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. Like, me, I have a love hate relationship with my Switch, but I was pretty impressed with a ton of third party games they showed. I just want to mention a couple. One is Blanc, which is like a black and white
Oh yeah, I saw
little
the trailer for
animals
that
that
one.
looked
Yeah.
cool. Dragon Quest Treasures is really exciting to me. It seems like not an MMO, but like an RPG that goes for a while, and like lots of different things you could do in it. And then Live Alive, obviously, was on that direct, which
we'll
they
be talking about in a minute.
in a minute, and they mentioned that there's a demo out for that, which I played. And then the other one was Harvestella, which is like a Harvest Moon meets Square Enix RPG.
Yep.
That looks really cool. Anything else? Anything catch your eye from that?
No, I didn't I didn't
okay.
watch it. I didn't have time, but I saw people talking about it in the aftermath. And then I watched random trailers, but I didn't like I said, I didn't know it was coming. I didn't make time for it. So
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff that they showed off that was pretty cool.
I should go
So
back and watch it. Maybe I'll watch it today. I
check
don't
it
know.
out.
I already got more than I can handle. I can't watch another thing. I'm full. I'm
Oh,
done.
before I forget, Golf Club Wasteland prequel. I didn't mention that to you, did I?
Yeah, we talked about it a couple episodes
Oh, did
ago.
we?
Yeah.
The Cub?
It's called The Cub.
I think it's called The Cub.
That doesn't sound right. Is that? I
I'm
don't
gonna
know if that's the
type it
right
in.
name. We talked about it a couple episodes ago, and I'm down. I'm in.
Oh, maybe I just said it, but I didn't say the name of it. Golf
Perhaps.
Club. We don't do any research on this show.
No research whatsoever on
Sequel
this
to
show.
the Golf Club Wasteland. The Cub announced. Yeah, The Cub. You
That's
play
a
like a
weird
little
name.
character who is, I think, the Cub. And
The kid that you meet in Golf Club Wasteland,
I think so.
because he doesn't have a name. I'm assuming that's
Oh, right.
There
okay.
were considering there was only two characters in the entire game. He must by default he must be the other person.
Right. So maybe it isn't. It's a sequel. Sorry, I said prequel. It's a sequel. Yeah.
But there is a prequel coming, isn't there? I thought there was a prequel coming as well.
I think I might have misspoke when I said it on the show. So if you're just going off of my words, then maybe it's a sequel. Because, well, I'm looking at the page right now. It says a sequel. So
All right, whatever it is, I want more of that.
we
That was
both,
a-
check it out. So that
Golf Club Wasteland was awesome. Whatever you do, just sign me up. I'm buying it. Whatever. All right. You got any more?
I have one really random one because you said I could do one random.
Yeah,
one.
go for it. Go for it.
Okay, this has no tangent at all, but I have it written down.
Don't care. Go for it. Out of the blue.
Behind the scenes for people, I have a note file that we look through, for notes for the show. And lots of times if I don't put something on the show, I just kind of leave it there. So this one's been sitting there for a while. It's an old box. It's got cobwebs and crap all over it.
Dusty. Real dusty.
So I'm going to dust it off, open it up, and it's just right. All it has is the words Ikari Warriors Glitch.
Ikari Warriors Glitch. Okay.
So I was randomly on YouTube. I don't know how I found it. Someone else had the same glitch that I had, and it was so fun to watch them experience it. And I never had seen it before since it happened to me like in the 80s.
I was going to say 30 years ago.
Yeah. But like, so in the 80s, I had this glitch. I think me and my brother were playing co-op Ikari Warriors, because you can do that. 2 players on the screen at once.
Yep.
Ikari Warriors is like a Rambo type game. You're
Are we
shooting
talking like
enemies.
NES or are we talking arcade?
NES.
Okay.
Playing it at home. You go up, it's one of those games where you go up and shoot things and keep going up and up and up on the boards.
Sure.
Kind of like a
Vertically
shooter.
scrolling.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I found a glitch. I didn't mean to do it. That my character got stuck in a wall and some physics, and he got pushed behind the screen. And my brother kept going forward with his Ikari Warrior, and he left me behind. But it was still going, and I still was active. My player was active. He wasn't dead. So all of a sudden, my player popped back on the screen, like it just kind of put it back. But I was literally, was it 3 or 4 boards ahead or behind or something?
Mm-hmm.
So the physics and like the obstacles were different for me. Does that make sense? They were invisible to the screen, but I was kind of like on another board. That's what I was. That's what I was thinking.
I don't even understand how that even works.
I don't either. All I know is my character was essentially immortal because anything on my brother's screen, the actual screen, wouldn't affect my character because my character wasn't really there.
It's so strange.
It's
But you
so
were not able to
strange.
be hurt by anything that was in the screen that you
No,
were
no one
on.
could hurt me, but also I would hit like random obstacles and have to like go around them that weren't really there because I was on another screen.
Wow.
So I
That's
think I
wild, dude.
saw a YouTuber experience this and they were freaking out. But the ending of the story is me and my brother played and we got to the ending, like there was a boss,
Yeah.
and he like blew him up or something, and all we had to do was walk forward a little bit to go to the ending, and we couldn't because I was stuck.
Oh no, you went all that way and then you like one final barrier,
One
huh?
final barrier, and my character couldn't walk, and I couldn't kill myself because I was immortal, and
Right.
we couldn't beat it.
Oh, bummer.
It's one of my banes of my existence I never brought up, but when I saw someone experience it on YouTube, I was like, oh, I'll tell that story.
Did you guys ever go back and try to beat it legit?
No, I think we gave up at that point. Those games are so damn hard.
They're very hard.
No
They're
save
extremely
points like you young people have.
hard. Cushy save points.
Cushy save. It was called lives back then, all right?
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
right.
here's Audie. And listen, you had 3 lives. Maybe you get an extra life by blowing up in a tank, and you get extra life. But then you got 4 lives, all right? When those 4 lives are over, you're done.
Go back to the start.
Reset. Have you heard about that, kids?
Game over.
Hit the
Game
reset
over.
button.
Yes.
The kids don't know what reset is.
Boy, you know, our consoles really did come with reset buttons back then.
They
That's
were
so
a
funny.
reset button. That's just the hardest thing to hear. Oh, what are you gonna do? I'll just reset.
Yep.
Reset?
I'm just going to turn the machine off and turn it back on real quick. That's what we used to do,
Fuck.
kids. That's what we used to do.
Okay, I am cleaned out. That's my last dusty box.
All right, I got a couple more quickies here. Well, one's quickie and one maybe not so quickie. So just heads up to people. If you know me, you know that Into the Breach is one of my favorite games of all time. I think that is literally a perfect game. There's nothing wrong with that game. There is no flaws in that game. That is a flawless experience. I love that game so much. I love that game so much. I beat it in every conceivable way with every conceivable mix of characters. Got all the achievements. I did literally everything you could do in that game, and I still wanted to play it more, but there was literally nothing else to do. So every once in a while, I'll be like, God, I want to play something that's like Into the Breach, and I'll look around. You know, it's like turn-based tactics, top-down, 16-bit. With mech suits and aliens and stuff, and I just nothing fits the bill. There's nothing is as good as that. Nothing scratches that itch, right? And so I was caught by surprise a couple days ago when Mike Susky, who writes at Game Critics, sent me a message and he's like, "Yo, did you see this?" And there's a physical version coming, which is great. I mean, physical versions, that's fine. But there's DLC. They have been working on DLC for a while, so there's going to be all new mechs, all new aliens, all new scenarios, and I'm like, oh my god, that's incredible. I would love to play more of that game. It has stuck with me all this time. I'm so excited. Like that to me is something that I'm just really, really looking forward to. So cannot wait to dive back into that world. I just hope that it's balanced. I know it took those developers a while to kind of nail everything down, and it is airtight. Like base game and Into the Breach is absolutely airtight. I will fight anybody who says it's not. But I'm hoping that they've put a similar level of polish to this DLC. I'm sure that they probably have as best they could. And I just want it. I love it so much. I want it to be really good. You know, like I don't want to be disappointed. You know what I mean? So.
Well, I would say that it took a while, right? Because when did that game come out?
It's been, oh god, I feel like it's been like 2 years, if not more.
Right, so they've had time. It should be good.
Fingers crossed. So heads up, it's coming in July. In fact, it is July now.
It is now July. Yeah,
it is now July. This feels weird to say that, but I think another 2 weeks and it's gonna be out. So cannot wait for that.
Cool.
All right. The final thing in the housekeeping, which I probably should have made this its own item, but I guess we can talk about it now, is the Playdate. I just got my Playdate in the mail a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Playdate, for those who don't know, is a small... God, was it Kickstarted? I feel like it was Kickstarted.
Probably,
was
yeah.
It not? Probably Kickstarted. I can't remember. It was like 2 years ago. Playdate is like a small, yellow, handheld console that has the crank. I mean, everybody saw when it first came out, everybody's like, oh my god, it's got like a literal crank on the side of it. It's got a D-pad, it's got 2 buttons, A and B, and it's got a crank. And everybody's like, what is a crank for? What's going on? Is that recharge the batteries? What does it do? And it is a controller peripheral. Like it does whatever you want it to. It just, it spins like a crank, like clockwise or counterclockwise or whatever. It's very small. I got to say, I was surprised at how small it was. I've seen pictures of it, and I knew what I was ordering, but just seeing it in person was just like, oh, like, wow, this thing is very small. Like my hands, I do not have like big, big guy hands. I have very small, dainty, petite hands, and it fits inside the palm of my hand. Like it is smaller than my hand,
Wow,
which
that
is
is small.
it's very small. It's very light. It's only about like I want to say a quarter of an inch thick. It feels very like you're holding 3 credit cards stacked up together. Like it's very
Wow, that sounds
thin.
way smaller than I thought.
It is really small. The screen so the screen is only like I mean maybe a third of the total area of the console. So the screen is very small. It's a black and white LCD screen, no backlighting. So you need to find like a light source. So you're otherwise you're gonna be able to see the screen. So it's got like really old school like Game Boy vibes. Like you got to sit in a well lit area where there's not too much glare but no sun, and
Mm,
like you're kind of tilting the screen a little bit so you can see it clearly.
I don't love that.
Yeah, I don't love that either. So this peripheral, it's an indie console, and their idea was they're going to sell you this console, and their plan is to have a season of games. So what does that mean? When you turn on your Playdate and you register it, it says, okay, Brad's Playdate is now active. His calendar starts now. They give you 2 games to start, and then every Monday after that, you can download an additional 2 games until you get a total of, I want to say 12 games. Is it 12 or 24? I think it's probably 12. And then that's it. And then they're going to do like another season of games after that. So I'm like, okay, this is really fun and wacky and interesting and indie, and I support indie stuff, and this is all cool. So I opened it up. I mean, the unit feels good. Even though it's tiny, it feels quality. Like the plastic feels good. It's got a good weight to it. It comes with like a neat little flip case so you can protect the screen. Like it feels like a really well-made thing. It doesn't feel cheap, which is great. It feels good. I like that a lot. Um, Comes with a USB. You can plug it in, etc., etc. Runs on Wi-Fi. There's no cartridge slot or anything like that. Everything is just download. So I will say I downloaded the first 2 games. One is called Casual Birder, where you play a person who takes pictures of birds. And another one is called Whitewater Wipeout, coming from our friends at Chuhai Labs, which is where Kinsey Burke works. And that one is a surfing game. And I gotta say, I thought both these games were hot garbage. Did not like either one of them.
Mm.
The system is obviously limited by 2 buttons and the screen and the small size of it. It was just like the first one was just like some random janky RPG that I didn't care about. I don't like RPGs like that to begin with. And the other one was a surfing game where you use the crank to turn the pivot of your surfer. So like if you rotate it forward, like clockwise, then he like turns to the right. And if you turn the crank counterclockwise, he turns to the left. Sounds fun, but it's janky as fuck to control. Like it's so hard to control it. My son had better luck than I did, but like as I'm playing it, it didn't feel good. Like I couldn't get the groove of it, and I was just like, okay, this is dumb and this is frustrating. I hate this. So I jumped on Twitter and I'm like, I love the Playdate. It feels cool, but the games are suck. Like, what do I do? And somebody's like, oh, you can sideload, and I'm like, what the fuck is sideloading?
Oh, I know
So
side loading.
you know sideloading. I didn't know sideloading, and there's literally nothing in the box that tells you anything about this. It's just like you open up the box. It's like, here's your Playdate, plug it in, have fun. That's like all it says in the box, right?
Mm.
So people told me, I think it was Matt Sainsbury in the UK, or no, in Australia, who told me about sideloading. So I'm like, thank you for the heads up. I didn't know about this. You can go to Itch. There's like a million Playdate games that are up on Itch already, and I didn't realize this. But if you go to Itch, you buy Playdate games on Itch, then you download them on your computer. Then you go to the Playdate website, and there's a button that says Sideload. You upload the games that you bought on Itch into your account on the Playdate website, and then once they're in the Playdate website, you go to your Playdate, and you go to a button in the menu that says Sideload, and then you can download them from the Playdate website.
Wait, that's
So
super cool, but are the games on Itch.io made for that specifically?
they are made specifically for the Playdate because this is
Oh,
not compatible with like anything else. Like
right.
because it's got the crank, it's got the LCD screen that's super small,
Yeah, yeah.
the
Just want to
memory
make sure.
constraints. Yeah, no, you cannot load anything else onto it.
But that's better.
So
That's better. It's like a really good feature, and they should have put that in the box at
they should have
least.
told you about that. They should have told you about that. But I guess it's like outside of their factory recommendations or whatever. Of course they want to be
Right,
responsible if
responsible.
anybody
Yep.
has a shitty game or something. So I went to Itch. To be totally fair, I just took a really quick cursory look because I was busy doing something else. And I'm like, okay, I don't want any of these. So I was just like,
Oh, jeez.
it's a bummer because I mean, to be fair, I didn't look at all of them. There was a lot. I didn't look at all of them. But like, I'm just like, okay, none of this looks fun. I guess I don't know what I was expecting, right? I heard that like Kojima was going to make a game. I heard that a lot of like bigger developers were interested in the crank concept and were going to do like really fun things with it. And so far, I'm just not impressed with what I've seen so far. So I'm waiting for like a better app to come down or a killer app, because I think the unit is really cool. Like you can easily stick it in your pocket, easily stick it in your backpack, whatever. The crank is like, it's people look at you funny. It's a good conversation starter. It's a neat little unit, but like there's got to be games on it, dude, and just nothing has grabbed my attention so far.
Can I say one thing about it?
Yeah,
The unit, I think here's my main thing, and I know I have friends who like work on games for it, so I don't. It's not a negative, super negative thing, but I think my only thought, and they could probably do a V2 if they wanted, but is that idea of tactile doing something to a
yeah,
console
yeah,
is interesting. I just think it should have like 7 things. So it's got a back touch thingy like PlayStation had or something. It's got like a physical buttons at the top that you have to like twist or something. I don't know. Like if there are more things to do, I think it's limiting to the software to have it just be the crank. And
yeah,
that's my only thing. Because if it was like weird triggers that aren't like normal triggers, or I don't know, if there's just more things to do on the actual apparatus itself, I think that allows you to have more gameplay options. But because it's a crank, I think it's limiting.
yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I definitely feel your point, and I think you may have something there, but I just don't know. I'm not a game developer. I don't make games, so it's I don't know what else could be done. But what I can say is that as someone who plays games on a professional level and it has played for 35 years or 40 years or whatever it is, yeah, I'm just like, okay, like this feels very limited. The games are not catching my attention. Granted, I've only played 2 of them so far, and the ones that I saw on itch did not motivate me to buy them and download them and go through a lot of the process, which is already kind of a pain in the ass for me. I realize not that big of a deal, but it's just irritating. So I don't know. I mean, I'll wait. I'm sure I'm gonna get 10 more games from Playdate themselves. So I'm hoping they got bigger guns, lined up. And then I'm gonna keep checking the itch store. There's got to be something out there that is clever and fun. I mean, indie developers are brilliant people. So first impressions of the unit, awesome. First impressions of the game, not awesome. And we'll see what happens. I will update as we progress.
All right, we'll come back to it.
We'll come back to it. Okay. I was gonna save this as my first official chunk, but I think I'll say it here, and then we'll just launch into the show right after this. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Graveyard Keeper again. I talked about it last episode with John.
Yep.
Did you hear that section of the show?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah.
Have you ever played Graveyard Keeper?
I feel like I did back in the day on Steam. Was it on Steam originally?
Oh yeah, it was originally on Steam.
Yeah,
sure.
I think I did. I might have actually talked about it on this show.
Very possible.
Probably.
We've done so many episodes, I can't remember.
Yeah, I thought it was cute, and it kept my attention for a while.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I've been thinking about it for a while. I started playing it and I put it down for whatever reason, and it's one of those games that like stuck with me where I always want to come back to it. And I think that's a good thing, right? Like I play a lot of games. I play so many games, and a lot of these games, I don't know about you, dude, but if I play a game that I just don't care about, I put it down, I forget it. Like the next day it's out of active memory. I don't remember. Don't waste any hard drive space on it in my brain. But like a few games will stick up in my head where I'm like, oh yeah, I totally want to get back to that. Like it'll go on for like 6 months, a year, maybe even more. Like, I'll just be like, oh yeah, I really like that one game and I never finished, want to come back to it. This is one of those games, like it really stuck with me where not perfect, had some issues, but like what it was doing was really interesting and cool. And I really, really wanted to get back to it. So I came back to it. I've been playing it for like the last week or so. And yesterday I felt like I just needed to make more progress. I've been playing it like maybe like half an hour before bed, like in Switch, like I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, no, I'm not making enough progress. I gotta kickstart this a little bit. So I played like 6 hours of it yesterday. Like I just sat down, I put it in dock mode on the Switch and put it on the big TV, and I played a bunch of it, made a bunch of progress. I just really like this game a lot. It's kind of like Stardew Valley, but instead of farming, I mean there is farming, but you tend a graveyard, so like you fix up the monuments and clean it up in there. But there's also like there's so many things in this game, and I think that's what is brilliant about it. It's so rich and it's so deep. There's like a million systems. There's a million different things you can do. There's crafting, there's farming, there's fishing, there's
fighting.
Yeah, there is fighting.
Yep.
There's mysteries. Like there's like a day-night cycle. There's all sorts of stuff, and there's just so many systems. A lot of the systems I haven't even seen yet because I just haven't gotten that far. And at this point, I believe the developers are done working on it, but they worked on it for a long time. So in addition to the base game, there were 3 other DLCs that came out for it. And when you start a new game, you have the option to turn them all on from the start, which I did. And so I'm already seeing stuff that was never there before. Like people will approach you and they'll start off like little events. Like one of them is there's a refugee camp that opens up and they want your help. That was never there before. The next one is like there's a vampire that's loose in the town and he's killing people. And you got to track down the vampire. That was never there before. So there's tons of stuff. I still got to I got to build up my army of zombies from the pieces that I harvest from the graveyard. There's I got to grow some wine. I got, there's tons of stuff to
Yeah.
do. It's really awesome. But I will say, to be fair, it's really overwhelming, because you very quickly get to a part where you've got like 27 different things to do, and you're like, holy shit! Like I'm getting like paralysis of like which one do I do first, and where do my resources go, and what do I do? And and I will say, it starts off pretty poorly. I feel like they really should have put more time into the intro. There's a bunch of tutorial tips you can go back and reread, which is kind of helpful. But like, it's such a huge game. I feel like they should have started you off with more of the basics. Like, you start off with nothing, but you're very quickly gonna need like an anvil to do like iron pieces, and you're gonna need a desk so you can write letters and stuff. And it takes you a while to like, number one, to figure out that you need those things, and number two, how to get those things, and then number three, how to get the things that you need to get those things.
Yeah.
It's real kind of a slow start, and that was kind of bumming me out. That's why I spent so much time on it yesterday, because I wanted to get through a lot of that stuff that I was just having trouble getting through. So I wish they gave it just a little bit more gas at the beginning and kind of got you off to a stronger start, and I think it would kind of unroll from there. But I really dig it, and the thing that I really like about it is I feel like it's the perfect game to play right now, because even though there's 27 gajillion things to do, there's no time. There's no time pressure, right? So like, the vampire shows up in town and he's killing people. Okay, I know nothing's going to happen until I progress that storyline. I'm going to just leave it alone for now. The refugees, we're starving. I need some water and food. That sucks, but no one's going to die until I go and start engaging with that storyline, right? So like, there's all this stuff that's waiting for me in the periphery, but I'm like, I can get to it when I want to get to it. I don't have to hurry. There's no clock. No one's going to die. I'm not going to miss anything. I'm not going to miss the best ending or anything. It all just like is totally frozen in time until you do it,
Yeah.
which is fake as hell, but also I love it so much because it reduces my stress. It gives me like this laundry list of things to do that I can do at my own pace whenever I want to do them. And if I don't want to do them, I just don't. If I want to go chop logs in the forest for an hour, I can fucking go do that. If I want to plant carrots in my farm for an hour, I can just go do that. And there's nobody beating down my door saying, hey, do A, B, and C real quick, real quick, real quick. Like, so it's overwhelming. It's huge. It's really deep. There's a lot to it. I think it's really, really well done, except for the beginning, a little rough, a little slow. But I just dig the idea of like, in the face of like modern life, right? With everything going on in the real world, everything going on in the United States, politically, the globe, there's a lot of shit going on. Graveyard Keeper to me feels like this really small microcosm world where I do have control over this. Like, nothing happens unless I want it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a little safe space for me where I can just like chill a little bit. And there's stuff to be done, there's quests to be finished, people to be saved. But as long as I'm doing it the way that I want to do it, it gives me like this little moment of peace, right? And I think that's kind of what I need right now.
Well, also, it reminds me of RPGs and why I play them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go into a world where the outside world is burning, and I go inside there and I go, like you said, I can take those side quests when I want to take them, right? They're not going to go away unless it's a main quest storyline. And another reason I'm starting one of the games over again that we'll talk about in the show later. Also, Harvestella, all the things you just described, it sounds like the Harvest Moon type, worlds, the Stardew Valley worlds, where you can do a million different things when you want to at your leisure. By the way, I did enjoy this, and I also agree with you that the beginning was rough, and I just felt like if they would have got me into more of those interesting scenarios earlier, then I would have sticked with it, because I did nope out at some point. I also felt like underpowered in the dungeons, and I never supposed to, but then I also didn't feel like how to feel empowered.
Exactly.
And then I do remember that my favorite part was throwing bodies in the river.
Oh, you can totally do that. Yeah,
I really enjoyed that for some reason. But no, I 100% agree. Everyone should check it out. By the way, it came out in 2018 on Steam.
Wow. Yeah.
So I talked about it a while ago, but also it's great that it's on the Switch now. So people should check it out. I think it's great. I like the developer. I'd like to see what they do next as well.
Yeah, it's great. It's really one of those games that kind of like fell off of people's radar. I mean, of course, 2018, it's been several years now, but just to shout out, like, it's still good. Like, it's still really good. And if you want like one of those Harvest Moon type things, but maybe you don't want to farm anymore, or maybe you want to do something different. I mean, creating a little army of zombies to do stuff for you is pretty fucking entertaining. So maybe give it a shot if you want. And it's a great fit for the Switch. I love it on the Switch.
And it's on sale right now on Steam. If you do want to get it on Steam instead of the Switch, and it's $10 on Steam.
Wow, that is a lot of game for $10. That is a very good price.
Insane steal.
That is a great steal. Okay, that is it for. I think that's the most housekeeping we've ever done. Possibly.
It's an hour full of housekeeping. We just did an hour of housekeeping.
An hour of housekeeping.
Before we leave housekeeping, because it's already an hour. Stranger Things 4. I finished it finally. It just came out the last part of it, Stranger Things 4.
I
And
wasn't sure if you were going to finish. It seemed like you were kind of bouncing off it a little bit.
no, I can't remember if I went back and forth on the show about it, but I said it started as a horror like season.
Yeah, yeah.
And it kind of noped me out. But then I came back. There's a great episode that everyone's talking about that has Kate Bush's song "Running Up the Hill."
Oh, sure. It's all you can't get away from it.
Can't get
Everybody's
away
talking
from
about
it.
it.
It was fun though to like just like Game of Thrones or other things go through it in the moment before the hype hit, before it's all over Twitter. And I just watched it as an episode. It wasn't, that's all it was to me. And that song came on, and it was kind of out of nowhere. So it just fit, and that episode was great. I actually think that episode was maybe even better than some of the last episodes.
Mm.
But I think they did a really good job, and it turned more emotional, turned more fantastical and sci-fi than the horror beginning that it had. And I just think it's really, really good, and there's nothing like it. Like the next season will probably be, I'm guessing, the last season, and it's great. It's fucking great. It's great to binge.
Excellent.
And I'm actually going back. Last piece of TV news is I'm going back to Westworld.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What's your take on that, by the way?
I've actually never seen it.
Ever?
It's, never, ever seen it. I've
Good
seen the original
Lord.
movie. I really enjoyed the
That
original
doesn't
movie
count.
from like
Yes.
the 70s with Yul Brynner.
I know. I saw that too.
No, never seen it. It's on my list, but people kind of go back and forth on it, and it kind of gave me like little Battlestar Galactica vibes, where at first people were in love with it, and then they kind of hated it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's fallen way down on my to watch list.
Well, it shouldn't, because here's the thing, and to make this fully an hour, housekeeping episode is, here's the thing: the first episode, and remember the creators of it. If you don't remember, the creators of it love video games, and so yes, this is about a park with a bunch of robots, like the '70s one, and it's about AI as well, like the AI that controls those robots, and like what it means to be a robot or human, right? But also, it's about video games. Like a lot of the stuff that happens in those first two seasons feels like NPCs and side quests. And then remember, like video games, the characters can't really die, or they do, but like they reset or something. So there's a lot of that kind of like fun about it feeling like a video game. So I think that's why the first two seasons are definitely worth it. But I'm in the third season, which is the season I stopped watching, which is never a good sign, right? But there's a fourth season that just started, and I hear really good things about it. So I was
without spoilers, can I ask why you stopped watching it? Was it just like a tone change?
Oh, I
or just the
remember.
writing.
I remember because I'm rewatching it. So I went back, and you know that thing where you forgot which episode you stopped at?
Sure.
And I was like, fuck, I have to start over, because I literally remember. So I like finally am caught up with all the episodes I watched. And I know why I noped out is in season 3, not in 1 and 2, but in season 3, they reuse a lot of the same like tropes. It's the same, it's a different setting totally, but it's like, you don't feel like there's any stakes. It just feels like they're remixing ideas from 1 and 2.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I was like, oh, I'm out, and I was like, I just valiantly left the season. But now I'm happy that I'm back in, because I think even with that misstep, I think season 4 that's out right now is going to do better. And also I think that it's still worth watching. It's like class act filmmaking, acting, and it's really exploring like NPC AI stuff and robots. So I highly recommend it to everybody. Just there's a little bit of hiccup in season 3.
All right. That will bring our world champion housekeeping section to a close. That was a lot of stuff, and to be fair to us, a lot of it I think was definitely related to gaming. So it wasn't just us bullshitting about random bullshit.
No, but it was just, I told you when we got in here, it was gross.
It is pretty gross, but now I feel much better. The floors are
cleaner.
shiny. I can use the toilet without fear again. I think we did a great job.
Oh, I didn't know we messed up the bathroom too. Okay, let's move on.
It was pretty bad in there. All right, Carlos, now that we've got all the housekeeping to take care of, let me kick it over to you for a couple of games. Looks like you've got Wavebreak and Ease 8. Which one of those you want to tackle first?
We'll just hit Wavebreak, which is one of those Xbox game demos.
Oh, yeah, the Demo Fest was last week. I played a bunch of those, but then you had to go down and get your meds, and so we kind of put that on pause.
I did not, but also I heard you guys talk about it on the show, and yeah, I agree with you that they don't do any good marketing for the damn Xbox indie games.
It's embarrassing. I'm sure it's a lot. I'm sure it is moving heaven and earth to get that thing lined up and arranged. and then they just absolutely don't fucking talk about it.
It's
It's shameful.
crazy. Because when I went in there, when we talked about, we were going to mention it on last episode, and you did, but I was gone, is that there's so many of them in there. There's
Yeah, I
so
mean,
many demos.
when did you check the demo page? Because I went out on the very first day. There was 40 on the very first day, and if the pattern holds true, they usually add more as time goes by. I haven't checked in on it lately. Is there more than that now?
I don't know. I think I looked at the same time you did. It was about like 40. Yeah. But anyways, I found a bunch. I played a bunch, but I just wanted to bring up one because it totally knocked me out of the park in a really weird way I wasn't expecting. And I don't even know why I decided to download it. But it's called Wavebreak. And they give it a definition on their game page as the first skateboarding game.
Isn't I mean, number one, I call bullshit on anything that says it's the first ever because man, there's a lot of games out there and people are doing this for a long time. But isn't Wavebreak the exact? Oh no, Wavebreak 64 is probably the name of the Nintendo game, Nintendo 64 game. But that was like a I don't know, what do you even call those things? Like a jet ski game? Is this a jet ski
It
game?
was a boat game, and I think it's called Wave Racer 64.
Wave Race 60.
Wave
Okay.
Race 64.
Wave
And I
Break.
played
Okay,
the shit out of it.
got my waves confused.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I'm a big skateboard, snowboarding fan of those games, especially the old school ones, Cool Borders and all that stuff. Oh, Cool Borders, and yes, I loved that 64 game, and so I was like, I think I was just gonna get more of that, like a Mario Kart,
Yeah. Yeah.
boat game with boat physics, and I haven't played one of those in a while. But no, it is a skateboarding boat game, which you and I have been around the block, played every single game that has ever been made. I don't think this existed before this.
Interesting.
I
So
think
you're in a
they're
boat,
right.
like doing tricks on the water, basically?
Yeah, you're like it's a kind of a smaller character inside a boat, right? So like Mario Kart, think Mario Kart. I think you're animals because I think it was a bear. I might be wrong. It might have been a dream. I don't know.
No,
But
I think you're right.
I think I'm a bear.
CJ Salcedo reviewed this for us. I'm pretty sure this sounds kind of familiar. So you're like otters and ducks and
Yeah,
sheep
you're
and shit,
animals or
right?
whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it doesn't matter. You're in a little you're a little skateboard. You're in a little boat. It definitely is a boat. But the mechanics are a little loosey goosey, but really fun because you have a acceleration, you have like a turbo thing, you have a jump, and then everything around this like map. There's water, but then there's like land area, and then there's like rails and stuff like that you would normally grind on a skateboard. So you can just jump up in the air and like have your boat grind on things, smash through things. Such like old school Tony Hawk, right? Smash through the window,
Gotcha. Uh-huh.
get to a new area. So it feels like Tony Hawk 2 with like a boat game. And I could not stop playing it. I think it was just a demo. I would love it if there was a campaign. There might be. I didn't do research. I don't know. But I played that demo, the one level, forever. It was like, this is just too fun.
Interesting.
And like no like serious issues if I fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just that kind of fun sandbox. And whatever they were doing, man, you jump off thing, grind, go back into the water. That sensation's pretty fucking fun. And yeah, I don't think I've experienced it before. So I really dig it. I really want the whole game.
Oh, interesting. I haven't played a like trick game like that in quite some time. I mean, it's not usually my jam, but I have played some of those. I mean, I love some of the old Tony Hawk stuff or anything like that. So I mean, interesting. It sounds like maybe you are right. Maybe I am wrong that there has never been a water-based trick grinding game. I mean, I'd be open to check it out. It sounds pretty fun. So
You think there would have been, especially in the 90s and like, or early
Yeah.
2000s like but also I will say this, I just forgot about it. In the description it says it's 80s for some reason and it's a Miami Vice themed world, which I remember
course,
the colors
of
being like
course.
that. Yeah. And then it said it's a crime-filled Miami Vice world. And I remembered there's a mechanic where you can shoot.
Oh, really? So you're shooting dudes? Are you solving crimes as you're grinding tricks on waves?
I didn't solve any crimes. All I do is I remember I blew up a couple like oil barrels. You know what I mean? And I was like, whoa, I have a gun? So it's doing a lot of things. But
Interesting.
yeah, I say people check out the demo for sure. Wavebreak.
All right, demo is up on the Xbox Game Store. Check that out. All right, now tell me about Ease 8. Is this
Well,
one of the Eases we've already talked about
We've
already?
already talked about it. Friend of the show, Lalena, always tells me to go back and play it. The story, for all of you to get caught up, is I love all the Ease games. I've played, I think there's like 10 or something. Canonical? Is Is that right?
That I don't think that's right.
Canonical.
Canonical,
Canonical.
yes.
There's like a lot. There's like maybe 5 or 7. I don't know. Main games or something. Well, I guess there's 9 because I just played 9. Monstrum Nox, which was one of my favorite Ys games. So I played a ton of the ones that are in order. And 8 I played a while ago. But the story is I played it, got really far, had like a save game corruption thing or something, and then I went back to the store and even though I bought the game, it wasn't downloadable.
What?
Yeah, like I think it was on PlayStation, and I couldn't get the game I already paid for. And I don't know if anyone listening has ever had that experience.
I feel like we taled about this on the show. I think I remember.
I'm sure we did, and I was mad
sure
probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I go, well, I'm just going to put it away for a little while. And I was sure that I had a save game. Anyway, so I couldn't find the save game and I couldn't find the game. So recently, I think it was a demo or something. And I was able to go back to it. And then I was like, I got to play this game. So I went and freaking bought it.
Oh man, bought it again?
Yes, to play it. And it's worth it. Was like, I think on a sale, and it's worth it. It's so fucking fun, dude. Like the gameplay mechanic is an action RPG. That mechanic is so fun. Like it's just intuitive, effortless, perfect dodge roll. Again, me and my dodge roll.
I know you and your dodge rolls.
It feels like Trials of Mana dodge roll. Like really fun, super fast, and yeah, it's just instantly. I'm jumping back into it. So I'm going to go through and finally finish it this time because last time I got screwed. So I love it.
What system was this originally on? How far back are we going with this RPG?
I mean, PS4, I believe.
PS4? Oh, that's okay. I thought it was older than that. I was thinking like PS1, no?
No, it had to be PS4 because Ys 9 is the newest one. Which is
okay, so only that's fairly recent then in terms of the Ys series. So okay,
yeah, and I've played again a ton of them. I really like that, like loose storyline. Sometimes it's connected, sometimes it's not. I explained to everybody, Ys 9 is just I think the best and most fun game. But Ys 8 is great. You're on an island, you're stranded on an island, kind of like Lost. It's really fun. I'm gonna beat it. So that's all.
Right on. All right, let's see, for my first official game of the show. Oh yeah, recently the developer Strange Scaffold, who I believe is basically run by one guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name. His name is like Zalavier Nelson. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. I totally apologize. Zalavier Nelson Jr. He is the guy who created an airport for aliens currently run by dogs.
Oh,
he did Space Warlord Oregon Trading Simulator, and he's been on a couple other things. Cool dude. I follow him on Twitter, and so I saw him mention that he was really stealth releasing a brand new game on the Xbox, also PC. So I jumped on that real quick. I think he's a real creative dude. I love. I'm going to be like brutally honest here. I think he's got awesome ideas, but I feel like he struggles with the implementation sometimes. I think the games come out a little bit too rough for me. But I love like every single game he comes out with. I'm like, oh man, I love that concept. I'm in. And then I start playing. I'm like, okay, this is maybe not as fun as I was hoping it would be, but I still love the idea, and I want to support this guy. I feel like he's gonna be doing great stuff. Like, I mean, he's already made so many games, and he's full of potential. So he released Can Androids Survive? Now this is actually a prequel to one of the first games that he released on Xbox, if memory serves, which was called Can Androids Pray? So I bought Can Androids Pray, never played it, but I bought it. It's been on my hard drive since day one. And then when I saw the prequel come out, I'm like, oh, perfect. I will just play these two games back to back, and I'll bring it to the show. Here I am. So in Can Android Survive, it is a first-person, like you play as like an android robot. You're maybe a person in a mech suit, maybe you're not. And the graphics are super basic, and you have to like deliver packages. So you're on this like Mars or something, and you look at this little map. You got to go pick up a package that's scattered around the surface of Mars. Don't get shot. Don't get killed. Bring it back to the delivery point. Like, it's real basic and straightforward. And the hook to your moving around is that you can jump. Like, you can have this chargeable jump that lets you jump really, really high. So you can jump over mountains and stuff, which is pretty cool and fun. Reminds me a lot of Jumping Flash from like way back in the PS1 days. If anybody ever played that, you play that?
Yeah, I think so.
Where you play as a robot rabbit and you
Yeah,
just jump around and things. Yeah, Jumping Flash is the shit. So it's very similar. I think that's a great inspiration. And as you're playing this stuff, as you're first person androiding around the surface of Mars, jumping and bringing boxes back and trying to avoid getting shot, you're also getting little bits of story. Like there's like the main story, which is like we are fighting the good fight, and then there's like this other side story where it's like, yeah, I don't believe that, it's propaganda. Here's what's really going down. So interesting. I wanted to finish it, but I got it again. I got to be honest, it just got really kind of annoying. You run out of fuel too fast, and if you jump around, which is the fun thing to do, is to jump. Your fuel just like really runs out. So I died just by running out of fuel a bunch of times, which is really boring.
Hmm.
There's also a lot of like gun turrets and stuff where you just like get shot and you just like go back to the start and it's just like a drag. Like I kind of wish it was like a little bit less aggro so I could just enjoy the mechanics and just like do the story rather than getting shot and having to manage the fuel and not getting killed. You do unlock a couple of powers as you go. Every time you intercept like a secret transmission, it unlocks a power in your mech suit. So one was like turn invisible for 3 seconds, which I definitely needed. And another one was it changes the way that you jump or something. It was like not that big a deal, but I liked the concept, but it just wasn't really fun to play, so I noped out of it pretty quickly. But then that inspired me to go and play the original game, Can Androids Pray, which takes the same setting of like being on Mars and the androids, but it's kind of like after the battle. In Can Androids Pray, you have two android suits which are wrecked. They cannot move, and one of them is leaking fuel and it's going to explode pretty soon. And so it's the two pilots just talking to each other as they wait for their suit to blow up. And it's just all it is. It's just a really short narrative game. You can finish it in like 15 minutes. There's a couple different choices, and they just kind of talk about like life and about what it means to be stuck in the suit, and like we can't avoid dying. So what does that mean? How do we feel about that? It was really good. I really liked that one a lot. I liked that one quite a bit. It's short to the point. It really got the concept across. Had a good vibe to it. So I liked Can Androids Pray a lot. And I like the idea of Can Androids Survive, but I just didn't care for how many times I had to restart, and it was kind of annoying. So overall,
Yeah.
interesting project though.
Yeah, I like you said it. Sometimes it's just like the idea is cool as hell, or
Yeah,
interesting, or
yeah,
storyline, but like it's the implementation of mechanics. Sometimes.
yeah. I just but this guy he swings at so many balls, and I feel like he's trying, and he's got so many great ideas, and he's got so much energy, and it's fun to follow him on Twitter too. He's a really fun guy to follow. So I love that dude, and I'm sorry that I don't have a pronounced name. I really apologize. But yeah, follow him. It's Strange Scaffold is the developer, and Rit Nelson on Twitter. So check him out. Check out his games. I think there's a lot of stuff there. A lot of really interesting, cool things to sink your teeth into.
Yeah, and for me, I'm always like, hey, everybody, just like try something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That dude is try with a capital T. I love it, man. I love his energy. So, all right. Back to you, Carlos, for a game that I absolutely cannot pronounce. Anno Mutationem.
You actually did a great job. Yay! We
Yay!
just learned before the show, so I also have to try now. So
We did 19 practice runs before the
yeah,
show.
Anno Mutationem, I think, or something like that. It's Mutationem, but it sounds different. Mutationem. Anywho, I'd seen this, I think, pop up on Steam a while ago. It came to PlayStation, where I generally play most of my games.
Oh, it's on PlayStation?
Yeah, that's where I was playing it.
Oh.
There's a PS4 and PS5 version, which I always think
Oh,
is
okay.
adorable because lots of times it's pretty much the same game.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more mechanics or more graphics at times, but generally the same.
I thought for sure you were going to say you were playing this on PC.
No, I'm actually playing it. Again, I'd seen it pop up on PC, but I had for some reason not got back to it. So because it showed up in my, weekly search for games, if not daily, on my PlayStation, I found it. So anyways, everyone just needs to check this out. This game's freaking cool. Had no idea. I'm so glad that, again, new consoles and new discoverability happen. So sometimes you forget about a game. But what it is, they call it 2D meets 3D cyberpunk world. So the characters and everything is pretty pixely, but the character you play as is a woman, and she is in 2D, but you run around in a 3D space. If that makes sense.
Yes, 2.5D going on. I dig it.
Yeah,
I'm watching
and
the trailer right now. This looks cool as hell.
it looks cool as hell. Like I'm like. I don't want to say what's the other games that we've seen recently in Game Awards where like, was it? Not, I'm trying to think of the names of them. But there's like recently there's been a lot of like 2D games that look beautiful with this same style, like cyberpunk
Yeah.
style,
Yeah.
and this is definitely one of them. I think that's essentially what you do is you know, it's not an RPG, but it's an adventure game that also has combat in it. So you basically the crux of the game is you run around a cyberpunk city, and you're trying to figure out your own story as well as the world and different characters, and you have like a little robot with you and stuff. And everything you walk by, kind of like a point and click adventure, you can kind of like interact with things. And to the kind of adventure slash RPG element, there's containers, so you can always like search through containers and get shit, right? That you can then later sell, or equipment or something like that. So you're always like opening containers, like a la old school Zelda,
Sure.
and running around the city. But then you can also go up to any character and like see their conversation. So you kind of like peek into the conversation or talk to these just people on the street, get a kind of feel of the world. Again, the whole world is very cyberpunky and beautiful. You have your room, which has like, different clothes you can put on and different like, your email. You can check your email. So it's got that kind of little world built in. And then it has like really fucking fun combat, which takes place in a kind of 2D setting, 2D kind of feel. So when you get into a combat section, it feels like a platformy game as well as, regular hack and slash game. And you're dodging, rolling, of course. And the rolls, gives you that invincible moment. And you're doing combos and powering up things. And you have a gun, so you can shoot too. So it was really fun the other day. I was like playing it and juggling enemies, that style with like attack slash uppercut thing. And then they're in the air, and then I shot them in the air a bunch of times with my gun. So I really like the combat. So it's got that mixed together with this adventure story element, which I think is the real crux of the game, is you want to know what's going on. And there's tons of spoilers right away, so I won't even tell you anything, besides the fact that you play as this girl who is trying to figure out her world in this really interesting cyberpunk setting.
I'm watching the trailer right now, dude. I've literally never heard of this game before, which is crazy because all I do every fucking day is eat, sleep, and breathe video games. I can't believe that no one has sent me any PR on this. What? Wow.
I
Some
know.
some PR person's really not doing their job because even though the name is really awkward and hard to say, I'm watching the trailers and I'm like, this looks fucking fantastic. Like, this is 100% my jam.
It's getting more and more my jam every time I play it too. Right?
I mean, I think you really like you just pimped this game pretty hard. But despite the fact that you basically were cheerleading the entire time, I think you really undersold how amazing it looks. Like, I'm watching this trailer, I'm like, holy shit! Like, the presentation on this is fantastic. Like the way the camera pans and the colors and the neon lights and like the way it's using the 0.5 in the 2D.
Yeah,
This looks fucking tight as
2.5D.
hell, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna buy this as soon as I get off the show.
Cool. And then when you get to characters and stuff like that, there's even like little mini games too at times. Like you go up to the bar and talk to the people at the bar and stuff. There's a mini game will pop up. It reminds me of that other kind of game that I played, the Cyberpunk, and I can't think of the name of it, where you're a courier. It looks that style.
Oh yeah, I know. Cloudpunk.
Cloudpunk. Yeah. It has that feel to it. But
Yeah.
it's definitely like I really like the exploratory of the space, because like the idea of having a 2D character that runs around a 3D space really works well. And yeah, it has like a lot of personality. You also like can fast travel in a car that flies. So
That was very cool animation.
yeah,
Yes.
you get into your car and it lets you fast travel. There's bosses, by the way. I already fought a boss, and they're like, like any other boss, you got to figure out the patterns. But it's more about the story. There's an easy mode, so anybody who wants to play and just not worry about that. And there's like upgradable weapons.
Looks like a good blend, dude. Like it's got the graphics, it's got the style. I'm watching the trailer. There definitely seems to be tons of story bits. There's also combat. I mean, this game looks like the total fucking package. And I just checked while you were talking. The last time I got any PR about this at all was in 2020. So no one has contacted me in the last 2 years plus about this game, which is absurd because if you had taken the time to make a game that looks as cool as this, you should be telling people about it. This game looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It did only come out in March on Steam. So April, May, June. So it's only a few months ago.
I mean, still, dude, come on. You got to get out there. At least a little guerrilla campaign. Hit people up on Twitter, email people directly, do something. Because, like, the fact that I, of all people, had never even heard of this game or couldn't even remember last time I talked about it was like 2 years ago, that you got to do something, right? Like, making a game is fine, but you got to tell people about the game. If we don't know about your game, we cannot buy your game. It kind of reminds me of this thing that we say, like I'm an interpreter in real life when I'm not doing game stuff, and we talk about it in the interpreting world. You can interpret all you want, but you're not going to get paid. The only thing that gets you paid is when you bill, right? You got to send in
Yeah.
your invoice. You can make a game as much as you want. You make it the fucking coolest game in the world, but if no one knows your game exists, who fucking cares? Like they're not going to find it, right? You got to get out there. Man, whoever made this game, I don't know who you are, but like you obviously did a great job putting this game together. Get a PR person, tell somebody about it because Jesus Christ, this game looks amazing.
Well, let's do it for them right now. The developers
Doing it.
Thinking Stars, published by Lightning Games. Noisy Pixel said it was pixel transcendental. Enjoyable cyberpunk. Yeah, okay. Here's the other things about it. You can upgrade stuff. I didn't get to this part yet, but you can upgrade a lot of different things, like skill trees and stuff like that. So it's got that RPG element thing in it, which again, you're always like collecting shit, which I like doing. And then there is, I think there's fishing at some point. I don't know why. I saw her
Every game's
fishing.
got fishing these days.
I know. But here's the plot, just to give them a little promotion, because obviously we're doing it for them right now. This is a world full of surprises waiting for you to find out. While you go through the main story, you can chat with a cyber corgi. There you go. How about that?
Okay, all right.
Take on a part-time bartender job. Hunt down vicious criminals. Reveal the true face of a trending V streamer. And by exploring diverse locations such as Neon Noctis Town, offshore cargo ship, and huge underground structures, players are free to go as they please and act as they want. That's the other thing. I felt like I could kind of go where I wanted. And it's a fucking great game.
It looks amazing. I'm literally going to go upstairs after we get, because I'm in the basement. I'm literally going to go upstairs and I'm going to buy this game the second we get off this podcast.
Nice.
You completely sold me on this.
Well, I'm going to finish a bunch of it today. I'm going to go back to it. And for people on Steam, there is a demo, which is also up as well. So check it out.
Check it out. All right, cool. Let me talk for a minute about the Capcom Fighting Collection. The good people of Capcom sent me a code to talk about this game on the podcast, which I'm doing literally right now in real time. This is a new package that Capcom has put together. It has a bunch of fighting games, and I have been going through it. I'm familiar with a lot of these games, but I'll give you the rundown. So it's 10 Capcom fighting games. They have Darkstalkers, Night Warriors, which is Darkstalkers 2, one of my favorite fighting games of all time, if perhaps my favorite. Vampire Savior, Vampire Hunter 2, Vampire Savior 2. So those 5 games are all Darkstalkers games, and I think probably they are underappreciated. I think a lot of people do not give this series its due. There's also Cyberbots, where it's a fighting game with giant mech suits. There is Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. There is Hyper Street Fighter 2 if you want your regular Street Fighter. And there's also Super Gem Fighter Mini Mix, which is another kind of underappreciated gem. I think I played it in the arcade a couple times, but I think a lot of people have never had any experience with it. And the one highlight, I mean, these are all great games. These are all very good games. But the highlight of this package is Red Earth, which is a Capcom fighting game. I've actually never played it before this particular release. It's never been on consoles before. I think it was in the arcade, but in very limited supply. I never saw it in the arcade, and I was going to the arcades all the time when I was a kid. Basically, you have 4 different characters in Red Earth. There's like a witch, a guy who's got like a lion head for a head. There's a couple of people, like kind of like a medieval fantasy theme. And every fight is like against like a boss monster. It's almost like a boss rush game, but in a fighting game style. Like there's like a Tyrannosaurus. It's got like horns and a fin. There's like a big squid monster. There's a lady that turns into like a giant like chimera. It's a really interesting approach to fighting games to not worry about the balance so much. It's more of like your characters against these giant enemies rather than having a kind of like equal-ish roster of characters fighting each other. You don't see that approach very often. I'm struggling to think of any other games that do it in the fighting game sense. But you know, Red Earth is a real oddity. I've known about it for years and never had a chance to play it until now, which is really interesting. So I think this is a great package. You know, you got your Hyper Street Fighter in there if you want to just play a little Street Fighter, like as per usual. You've got Puzzle Fighter, which is like kind of like a Tetris Gems sort of a thing with some Street Fighter SD characters. Gem Fighter Mini Mix is like Street Fighter but reduced. It's very simplified. I cannot remember if it was on Neo Geo or where it was at first, but like you have less buttons, less attacks, but it's basically like Street Fighter where you charge up your moves and just fight. But like it's not the normal moves. Like you've got like a hurricane or your hurricane kick and your fireball, but then also you hold a button and like Ken will like jump on top of a donkey and the donkey will kick. Or like he'll have like a big hammer, like the hammer will pop up out of nowhere and he'll whack somebody with a hammer. So it's got a good mix of like over the top comedic elements in on top of the basic core Street Fighter maneuvering. There's like a different power meter and there's like more charge moves. It's just a really interesting spin on the Street Fighter thing. So if you've been through all the Street Fighter games and you want to like do something slightly different, you can check that out. And of course, I love the Darkstalker series. I think character design is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Super hyper animated, like really funny, really like tight combat. Um, I do think the series got a little bit full of itself, like by the time they were hitting like sequel number 5, where it was like a lot of like 3 different styles of combat and then too many super bars. But like if you hit the earlier games in the series, Darkstalkers 1, 2, and even 3, that's some good ass fighting material right there. Like just I love it so much. Just really really great stuff. Classic monsters where there's like a Frankenstein, a Dracula, a Chinese ghost, Sasquatch, like all sorts of like stuff like that. And that's Capcom's artists at its best. I mean, they've got some of the best artists in the biz, and these guys were let loose to just do all kinds of animations, just wacky stuff, wild stuff that you don't see in Street Fighter. So this is a great package. I love it. If you don't own these games, I think any fighting game fan should. And I'm really glad that Capcom is rolling out the lesser known stuff like Cyberbots, Red Earth, and Gem Fighter. I think it's really cool to get access to those. So overall, this is a fantastic package. If you like Capcom fighting games, you pretty much got to buy this.
It's funny. I was going to say 2 things. One, like, oh, that's cool. I'm not into fighting games anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And that
yeah.
be it. And that's kind of true. I agree with you, though, that Darkstalkers and some of the design is amazing, and I love watching
So
it.
good. So good.
But the act of playing a fighting game is, like, lost on me now. Like, it does absolutely zero for me now. I don't know. I just can't do it. But, again, for anybody also who has never even played them, to have all of them in one collection is crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's so good.
The other thing I was thinking is like, okay, Carl, shut up about you not wanting to play fighting games, because how lucky are we that we have that? If we could tell our, 14-year-old self that not only will we be able to play the games you play in the arcade at home, but you can play all of them for like $20 or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nuts. Anyways, and last tangent that just came out of that. When I was a kid, I loved TurboGrafx. All my friends would make fun of me because they were into Sega Genesis. It's a whole like thing I'm working through therapy on. And they were wrong though. It's okay, they were wrong. But TurboGrafx had the CD-ROM, which we talk about a lot, and they released Fighting Street.
Oh yes,
which was the first Street Fighter,
the very first Street Fighter. Yes,
and it was still 2-player, but you could play 1-player as well, obviously. And it was bad. Like it did not handle well. The controls were rough, and even in the arcade, the controls are bad. But then I got it at home, with a controller.
Yeah.
So I remember going like to school, like, well, we got Street Fighter. It's the first one. It's not very good, And so I couldn't even be proud of that.
Oh man, I remember playing Fighting Street, and like a lot of people don't even know it exists, right? I mean, you would think that like the very first game was Street Fighter 2, so you'd be like, well, where's Street Fighter 1? There had to be like Capcom didn't do it ironically, right? They didn't just like we're starting at number 2.
Yeah.
So if you go back and check that one, that is a real fucking piece of history. I think it's a miserable game to play, but it's really interesting to see what they were working through in terms of their ideas and how that works and all that stuff. And yeah, just being able to go back to some of these. And man, I spent so much fucking money on Darkstalkers 2 in the arcade.
Yeah,
like I could have bought this game 50 times over, dude. So it's really nice to be able to have this. And I'm all for like, the archivist aspect of things and the historical aspect of things. So even if you don't get into the games as much as you would have back in the day, or maybe you're not a fighting game person, but just having access to these things, having things available, I think is a real treat. I'm really grateful that these packages keep coming out, because it's so nice to just revisit them.
Yeah, and again, I'll say it again and again. Like, there's so many people out there who haven't played these yet.
Yeah, if you've never played Darkstalkers and you like fighting games, man, you are in for a fucking treat for sure. So, all right, that is a Capcom Fighting Collection. Big thumbs up. I'm digging that very much. It's very nice to spend some time with the old Darkstalkers crew. But back to you, Carlos, for a little game which I don't even know what it's called. It's Live Alive, Live Alive, Live Alive, Livey. Like, what is the actual name of this game? I don't even know how to say it.
I believe people are saying Live Alive.
Live Alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like Live a Life, too. I think that's the better name, because I know what the game is, and it feels like you're living a bunch of lives.
That would make more sense.
So Live Alive. Live a Life.
Live a Life is maybe what it should be.
It should have been Live a Life. Anyways, it came out a while ago. It's an older game, but this has the newly formed graphics on it. It has the same kind of graphic style as Octopath Traveler.
Let me ask you a question before we go
Yes,
into this. Am I wrong in thinking this game has never been released in America before?
I think you're right. If I did any research, I would have told you.
I am pretty sure that this is big in Japan, but I don't think we've ever gotten it here in
I think so.
stateside
I think
before.
that's correct because
Okay.
that's the reason why we're all excited to play it.
Okay.
Yes, that sounds right. And the concept of the game is very, very up my alley and really interesting. An RPG, again, I'll say RPG with quotes around it because not every story is really as RPG-ish as the next one. But you are playing a la Saga Frontier, multiple characters in multiple storylines. Also Octopath Traveler, actually, because that's like
Yes.
the newer version. But yeah, like, I played Saga Frontier back in the day and that kind of style of starting the game where you wanted to start it, right? You pick the character you want to start with, go down that journey. And I'm not sure, because I never played Live Alive, if the stories connect at some point at all. I don't know how they could
I mean,
because
they must. They must. Why else
no,
do it?
well, they might not because the thing is they're all from wildly different time zones, wildly different. So here's an example. And by the way, the reason I'm playing is because, like I said, the demo is out. I think as of this recording, still out.
Still out. I just downloaded it last night.
Sweet. It lets you play 3 stories of the, I don't know, 8 or 9. Didn't do research. And all the stories you play, and up to the point where they make you stop, because there's a stopping point, you save the game, and they're all transferable to the full game.
Which is
Thank you.
cool. I love that.
Love that. So on my trip that I took, I brought my Switch and my demo of Live Alive, and I played all of the 3 games. And it was really, really cool because they're wildly different. So the first one was the far future, and you play as a robot, like straight up, not a regular character per se, a robot. And you're like going around the spaceship and trying to like learn about all the characters that are on the spaceship and the dynamics. And everyone's mad at you because like you're a robot who is kind of getting in the way and stuff. I don't know if the whole game will work like this, but real quick side note, when I was walking around the spaceship on myself, they were like telling me to be careful and stuff. And I was like, fuck you. I can do whatever I want. And I went up to this place where there's like the hangar, and I hit the button and the hangar opened up and I flew out into space and I died. So
Wah, wah.
it was very similar to what's it, Nier Automata, right?
Yes.
With like, it was like a mini ending. So I don't know if all the games have that or all the stories, but that was really fun. So I came back to life, did that storyline, and that whole storyline, no combat. Because I'm a robot.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then the next one was like feudal Japan. I'm a ninja. All combat. Like I'm a ninja infiltrating a huge area, and I can either be stealthy or I can be actiony. And turn-based combat. So I can do stealth for a little while, or like do turn-based combat. I like chose to kill everybody. And there's special moves and just like a turn-based RPG, and that was really fun. And then the next one was China. And you play as like an old drunken master, one of those like he knows all the martial arts,
Yep.
magical type karates, and he finds someone in the town, and he decides to train them. And yes, there's combat in that, but there doesn't have to be. I think there's like a pacifist area, like you can do things without fighting. So it's really interesting because all 3 are different time zones, and even a little bit of different mechanics.
That's interesting. I downloaded it last night and I meant to put some more time into it. I only played the one with the Chinese martial arts master. And that was interesting, yeah, because it did seem like there were places where you could choose to fight or not fight as he looks for his disciples. So I didn't realize that that the robot didn't have combat. I didn't get to the robot yet. And one thing that I was curious about, this is maybe a little bit too in the weeds for people, but is the combat different for the ninja than it is for the Chinese martial arts master, or is it the same basic combat engine?
It's the same basic combat engine, which is a kind of grid-based, turn-based combat.
Yes.
And you move, and then you pick either spells or abilities or fighting. It was just different things. Like, that guy, that martial arts master, he had like every spell open right away.
Yeah,
or
he had
like
a
all of
bunch,
his moves.
a ton, yeah.
And then the ninja, I think I learned new ones. You know what I mean? As I was going along.
Gotcha.
So I think when it is fighting, it'll be the same mechanic. But again, it's more like these stories and how are they going to try to bring some of the things together? I don't know. But even if they don't, like one's just a Western, like one that's not unlocked yet is a Western. He just play as a cowboy. Fucking cool, dude. I don't know if I've played many like this besides like Octopath and Sega Frontier.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I'm not much into RPGs these days. Definitely not much into 16-bit RPGs, but this one it was really interesting. I mean, I definitely like the character approach. It reminded me. I did not care for Saga or Octopath, but it did remind me a little bit of Chrono Trigger, just in the way that like the time periods were so different. And like I did enjoy Chrono Trigger quite a bit. It's not the same thing, but just the same kind of vibe a little bit. So I would be open to checking this one out. I like the visual presentation of it is really interesting. It's like 16-bit plus where um, it looks 16-bit, but also there's a couple little tricks happening that make it look like oh wow, like when something happens, little depth of field things going
Oh
on, which are
yeah,
pretty
yep.
neat. That was pretty cool. And I did say I was a little bit confused by the combat though. I thought it was turn based at first, but then it seemed like there was a little bit of a time element to it where I was like I was waiting for my turn to be over and the enemy to take their turn, but then they would go and I'm like, wait a minute, it wasn't my turn. What's happening? I wasn't quite 100% clear on the combat, so I need to go back and spend some more time studying that a little bit. That was kind of throwing me off a little bit, but I did appreciate the grid-based structure of it, and I would be interested in checking it out. I like the idea of doing a Western bit and a robot bit and a medieval bit or whatever. Like doing that whole switch up is pretty cool to me. So my only concern, and who knows if this is a real concern or not, like I don't want to get too bogged down in like talking to like villagers and stuff. Like that's my personal foible, right? Like I'm not saying that as a criticism of game design. I'm just saying like me personally, Brad Galloway, I don't enjoy talking to villagers very much and wandering around and doing that stuff. So if they keep it nice and tight and it moves along, I think I'll be pretty into this, as long as it doesn't get too bogged down and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think it. I mean, it doesn't overstay its welcome. At least it seemed.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
like I was like, I don't know how they're going to switch it back and forth when the full game's out, right? Like, am I going to jump over to the Cowboy Western and finish that, and then move on? Because in the demo, the point is in the demo it stops you, and the story's not done yet, right?
Yeah.
So if it's a full game, will I be able to go back to the robot and just finish his storyline? And then I won't get bogged down because I'll just be like, it's over. I can close the chapter on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, I believe someone that worked on Chrono Trigger is working on this.
I do not know. I
I
didn't
believe
do
that's
any
true.
research whatsoever.
I don't either. But
If somebody from Chrono Trigger was on it, I'd be like, yes. If somebody from Saga Frontier was on it, I'd be like, no.
I think I saw Chrono Trigger. And again, we don't do homework. Someone's listening right now saying, you idiots, it's this.
God, what's wrong with you fuckers? God, it would take you 5 seconds to find out. Why don't you Google it, for God's sake? Google is free.
We Google sometimes, but sometimes we don't. This time, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
So
whatever.
move along, but I will say everyone should check out the demo. And yeah, it doesn't really feel like all that stuff you were worrying about with how the combat works. It doesn't, for me, didn't seem like much of a time element. It just seemed like turns, like you just take turns on the moving and then you do the combat.
I need to look at it again. I was a little bit confused by the details of that combat. I need to go look at it one more time.
I just to finish that thought, I think it's just that there is a move phase, which is almost like old school Heroes of Might and Magic, or something, or I don't know if that's the right reference, but other like strategy games where you like move and then do what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So like that's what this game has. Like you do the move phase first. Move phase first. Fuck.
That's also a good name for the show too.
I know. Move phase first, but comma fuck after.
Yeah.
Wait, we'll get penalized or something.
That's
search.
a good one. I like that one.
No,
All right.
no, don't, dude. Keep the first one.
All right, that's fine. All right, well, Live Alive, Live, Life You Live, whatever.
Live a life.
Is coming out. I forget when it's coming out. It's coming to Switch. I may go in for this one. I don't play very many RPGs, and definitely not 16-bit RPGs, but this one seems pretty cool. And I do kind of like the idea that it's like this lost classic. Apparently, this series is like a monster in Japan, and we've never gotten a single one of these, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to check it out for that perspective.
You should. And my last point is, our last thing is, there's also a storyline that's present day, which me, I love a present day RPG, which I can't ever get.
Same. Nobody ever does it really.
Earthbound or something. But yeah, so there's a present day in here too. So I'm excited to play that story.
All right. Right on. Okay, last couple games of the show. We're going to wrap it up. I am covering Hourglass. This is a first-person puzzle game, which just hit the Xbox. I was playing on an Xbox. And the developer did send me a code, so thank you very much to talk about it here on the show. This is the story is not super heavy. Basically, you're a girl, your dad's an Egyptologist, disappears doing his research. You go after and find him, and as soon as you get there, of course, you find like shenanigans happening. Um, Long story short, this is kind of one of those puzzles where you use a time element. You can also make a clone of yourself. So, like, let's say, for example, you need to step on top of a brick in order to get over a high wall, but you can't be on the brick and push it at the same time. So, like, you make a clone of yourself. The clone pushes the brick, and then the real self jumps on the brick and then jumps over the wall. So you kind of like help yourself solve puzzles. There's
Hmm.
lots of different switches to pull, lots of different like time elements, like figuring out, okay, if I go here first and then I make a clone to go over here, does that timing work out? Can I get across this bridge? Can I jump across this gap? Can I do this thing? So like all those sort of things. The graphics I think are pretty nice, very clean, very basic, but in a nice way, like an appreciable way. And the puzzles, I don't think there's any combat. I haven't hit any combat. I think it's all just puzzles I'm getting through, which is fine. If you like 3D spatial and time-oriented puzzles, I think this is a really great one of those. Full disclosure, I feel like the difficulty of it ramped up fairly quickly, and my brain is very weak these days. I don't have much puzzle-solving capacity, so I got kind of stuck fairly soon. But I'm working on it still, chipping away at it. I think a lot of people out there will not have nearly as much trouble as I do. That's just me. My puzzle muscles have atrophied quite a bit. But I think it's great. It's very simple. It's kind of like one of those little like B grade gems that you find where you're like, oh yeah, this is not like a AAA game, but I really like what it's doing, and it does what it does really well. So if you like that puzzle element, you want to kind of mess around some 3D puzzles, I think this is a good one of those.
All right.
Hourglass. It's on PC. I believe it's on PlayStation. It's on Xbox. There you go. Final game of the show. I hate to end on a down note, but I have to because that's what happened. Firegirl Hack and Slash Rescue DX.
Wait.
This is
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Jumping ahead. Is this the only Fire Girl game, the one that I know of? Because that name sounds longer than what I recognize.
This is the new version of Firegirl, which came out, I want to say, last year.
Okay, it is.
Came out
Okay.
on. I think it just came out on PC. I don't know if it came out on any platforms, but this is now on Switch. I played it on the Switch, and the developer sent a code for that. Thank you very much. It's also, I believe, on the other consoles. But yeah, it is Firegirl, but it is a redone version. In the notes, they said that the developers listened to feedback. They adjusted some things. They added a few things. We reviewed this. I did not review this. I think it was Eugene Sachs, I'm pretty sure, who reviewed it for us at Game Critics. It may not have been Eugene. I apologize if I got that wrong. But regardless, the reviewers said that it was a very unbalanced game because it uses procedural generation for its levels, and they were very often getting stuck in places where they couldn't get through. You play a firefighting girl. She has a backpack that has a limited supply of water. She can also use the backpack as a jetpack if you point the hose downwards. And then you have to rescue survivors in these burning buildings, kind of a 2.5D thing. And they were often saying there was jumps they couldn't make, or like they weren't getting water refills often enough to kind of facilitate the gameplay. They said it was a pretty frustrating play, even though it looked pretty cute. So I'm playing the redone version, and I appreciate that developers went back and fixed it up, which is great, but I will say not enough. I think this game has some really fundamental problems with it that I don't know that they can necessarily patch out. I think to start with, the 2.5 approach I think is just wrong. I don't think it's a good idea for this game. Using the camera tilting and panning doesn't really add anything, and it hampers visibility. And in these levels, like you're on a clock because the building's burning, you want to hurry up and get through as quickly as possible. You want to be very precise and specific with your movements, and just having like that extra dimension, it does not help. It doesn't make things look better. All it does is like it's a problem for the gameplay. You want this game to be reflexive, instinctual. You want to get in the zone. You want to flow with this game like this, and it just doesn't do that. Like you're always like for example, there's a button to look up and a button to look down. That right there is a problem. Like you don't want to spend time looking up and looking down because the path that you need to take is off camera. Like that's bad design. Like that's not good design. So I think the 2.5D is just a bad approach. It should have just been 2D, period. So the visibility is not great. I have to say the mechanics are not great. The jumping does not feel good. You very often have to use your water pack as a jetpack. So I don't know what's going on with the physics of this game, but it's like you would think that you would just hold the spray button down and the water would shoot at it and it would shoot you up. Like a million games have done this. This is not a brand new idea. But for some reason you have to also get like momentum, and then you have to like time your spray just right. And sometimes usually what happened is I don't have enough momentum, so I waste all my water in my backpack, and when you waste the water, you get less pressure, which means you're jumping less. So if you fuck up your jump the first time, it gets harder and harder and harder to do it, and eventually you don't have enough water pressure to make the jump, and then you're fucked. And so that's bad design. That's just really poor design. I did not appreciate how difficult it was to do those jumps, in addition to the visibility not being great. So sometimes it was tough to get a bead on where you're supposed to jump. Just putting the fires out didn't really feel great. Like holding the hose and spraying didn't feel great. I mean, everything about this game just doesn't work very well. Like it's like 75% of the way there. And I love the idea of it. I love the idea of like being this little fire girl, running in, jumping around, spraying fire, rescuing people. Like that all works for me. Like I'm down for that. I'm very interested in that. And it seems like a great game that you want to do like run-based Twitch, speed runs, or like, just really just vibing with that control-wise. But there's just too much getting in the way of it. Like there's too much cruft. There's too much that needs to be cut out. It needs to be streamlined, and I just don't feel like any of its ideas work the way that they're supposed to, or the way that I would want them to, and it just felt very awkward and uncomfortable to play, and I just wasn't having fun with it. Like a lot of frustration, a lot of like rough edges, a lot of like, oh, I almost made that jump, but why didn't I make that jump? It's stupid I didn't make that jump, and now it's even harder to make that jump. And why is the fire not going out? Because my hose is pointing right at it, and it's not pointing exactly the right way, and this is dumb. It should be easier to do this. And why is the camera pointed this way? I want to just see where I'm going. I don't want to have to pan the camera around. Like it's just a lot of this stuff just needs to go back to the drawing board, right? Like take the core idea, cut away all the fat, polish it up, and I think this would be a real humdinger. But like as it is, it's just like too much getting in the way of the fun.
Well, realistically, and I don't think I ever say this much on the show, but the whole idea of like going back to the drawing board, polishing it up, and putting it back out, that's not going to happen. I don't know, I make indie games here and there, and I'm actually working on one in secret right now. It takes fucking forever. So like what they'll realistically do is take all these mechanics and things that do work and make a second game.
Exactly.
Like their next game will be the one, right? Like Firegirl is as is probably right now, but it's unfortunate here because I do like the look of it. It feels like the opposite of the other game I talked about earlier, Anno, where like I think all the 2.5D stuff works great in that game.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it doesn't in this, but I also am not a fan of resource management within an action game like this.
Right.
Because then you're, like you said, like worried about your jumping. That's not good.
Yeah.
Because you're already like worried about the environment. So that's really disappointing to hear.
It's a shame. It really sucks because I was really looking forward to it, and I was really happy to see that the developers had listened to feedback and gone back to it. But I don't know that this game in its current form is able to be brought to the level that I would want to see it at. I mean, clearly not. It was not a very fun play. So, it's just a shame. I feel like they probably learned a lot making this game. I bet their next game is going to be like a lot better. They'll probably learn from these mistakes, hopefully. But just none of it was popping. None of the pieces were in the right place. None of it was the right shape, and it was just a shame. It's a shame to see something that seems so cool come so close and yet not make it.
Yeah.
So that's
all right.
All right. Anyway, that is a show. We covered a lot of games today. We covered a lot of topics. Boy, I'm tired. I don't know about you, Carlos. You ready for some lunch and a nap?
I'm tired. Not the nap part, but I'm so hungry and tired. But before we go, I need to do our due diligence, do the homework. I did it real quickly. A Google search before we leave.
Oh, no.
Takashi Tokita, right? Is that how you say his name? Takashi Tokita?
I'm going to go with that, sure.
Okay. He worked on the following games. A bunch of Final Fantasies. Live Alive in 1994 is when it originally came
94. All right.
Not to us, but I guess only Japan. He was director on that. And then right after, the year after 1995, he was director on Chrono Trigger.
Oh, shit. Brad's back in, baby.
Back on board.
That's what I needed to hear. Chrono Trigger, yes. And that's what I wanted to hear. So no... None of that fucking what is it? Saga stuff. None of that.
Saga
garbage.
Frontier, which I still liked at times. I also say this: I did not know, but he worked. He was creative producer, which again, not director, but creative producer on Oninaki, which I feel like I never played, but I always wanted to.
Familiar.
Yeah, I think it's RPG. I'm gonna look that up now. And then now he's back. Yeah, a producer on the new version.
All right, I'm in.
So actually,
I'm in. I heard Chrono Trigger, and it's got those little hallmarks. I was getting that vibe. Confirmation. I'm back in. We're doing it.
Sweet, we did it.
We did it.
Homework for the win.
Homework pays. Research pays off. Yay!
Yay!
And I'm gonna go upstairs right now and buy that Anno.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Man, you got to fix that title, bro. But otherwise, this game looks
I
amazing.
can't
Anno
even say it.
Mutationem.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I just gotta call Anno. But yeah, I'm excited tonight. It's like my whole evening. I'm playing like I'm like, remember I do the thing where I like watch something and play something?
Yep.
So I watch Westworld, which is all about the future and stuff like that and robots, and then I go play Anno.
Carlos multimedia tie-in. He's living the life.
I live in the life, and that's our longest show ever.
Longest show ever. All right, folks. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for spending your day with us, or your night, or your afternoon, your morning, whatever. Thanks for being here. As always, we love to get your questions and comments. Hit us up. SoVideoGamesPodcast@gmail.com. We're on Twitter @SoVideoGames. But you can reach us individually. Carlos, where are we directing your traffic this week?
Please go to TikTok, Carlos Rodela, Carlos, Rodela, all one word, or tag is what it's called. I don't know. I'm on the platform. I don't understand it. TikTok, yeah, we're doing some really cool stuff. I can't wait to show you. I'm doing a crossover video right now with this really awesome creator called Lexi. Called Lexi? That's what she's called. Her name is Lexi. She's so damn cool. It's really, really fun. Our crossover videos, we just finished writing them today. They're going up in a week or so. So please follow us, both of us, when you see her tagged in my videos. And yeah, check me out on TikTok.
Right on, right on. As for me, same as always, on Twitter, on Instagram, it's my name, BradGallaway. All A's, no O's. And that's going to do it for episode 291. Thank you all again for joining us here on the So Video Games Podcast. And we'll see you next week. But in the meantime, this is Bye from Brad.
And man, I want to eat some food. Nope, it doesn't start with a B.
Nope, sure doesn't.
Bye, I'm going to eat some food.
Say, boy, I sure want to eat some food.
There you go. That's what I meant. And boy, I want to eat some food. Jeez Louise.